Hi, everyone. I hope everybody is doing well. Sending you a lot of love and light. Let me light this Palo Santo here just to clear the energy and to make sure that we are protected at all times, though we already know that, though this helps for sure. I am going to make this reading quicker. Nonetheless, it's a message to be shared. I did make a promise to the divine, and I'm going to make a promise to you guys as well. You know, back in the day, in this channel, all of my readings were 2 hour plus readings, and those are very much so still, you know, when they're meant to be, they're meant to be, and they will happen if they need to happen. However, I also used to be very hard on myself if something came up in my life, that didn't allow me to sit down for an extended period of time and record a very long reading. And I'm not doing that anymore. So whether a reading is 2 hours or an hour or 40 minutes or 45 minutes or 30 minutes or 10, or even if I just, if I really am busy in a particular day and just have 2 minutes, I'm going to find the 2 minutes to share a message from the divine to keep that energy flowing and that momentum going. Of course, in the divine saying, even in an intro, that's a message to you. If you promised yourself to do something, hold yourself accountable and do it. Even if, just don't be so hard on yourself. Let's say you made a promise to yourself to go to the gym or do some exercise or lose weight or become more fit or for your health or for your mental health, whatever the case may be. That's just an example, right? And you usually spend an hour doing it or 30 minutes, but one day just, a lot of things happened and you had a lot of laundry to do or life happened, whatever the case may be, right? And you only have 20 minutes. You got to make the choice. Are you just going to back away or are you going to still make the effort? The moment I hit record, I'm already getting messages from the divine. So even though that was an intro, it's already a channeled message. So I know that this is meant to reach somebody. Okay. Of course, at the same time, don't be hard on yourself because there are days where you just can't do anything. If you feel sick, if you feel like you need a break, remember you have to take care of yourself. You can't neglect yourself spiritually, right? And you can't neglect your health in that department either. So if you need a break, you can take one. Don't be hard on yourself in that department either. However, the divine's pushing you to know the difference, right? The difference between you actually needing to take a break or, between you creating some kind of resistance for some reason, right? And stopping yourself from keeping the momentum going and allowing the divine to continue to send abundance your way and keeping yourself open to receive, right? You need to know the difference, right? A lot of the times you could find a minute somewhere, right? So just remember that. All right. That was a message within itself. But let's see what Spirit has to share very quickly with you guys. I keep getting the message off the bat. It's not the first time I've gotten this on this channel for this collective. I don't know. I get it. A lot of us have dealt with some people in our past with some funky energy, or maybe they're family members, so it's not like, you chose them, but they were there anyway. I just keep getting the energy of somebody in the shadows. Somebody in the shadows. And you know what's interesting? I don't know if this device is going to focus on it or not. But if you look at this candle wax right here, maybe you won't see anything in it. Maybe the device won't even focus on it at all. But the divine, in order to give me messages, will show me things and I will instantly see an image in it. Right? And that's how they share messages with me also. And I see the figure of a person, but covered right? Where the only thing that's showing, if you can see, there's a space for their ears to listen right there, and a space for their eyes to see. Everything else is covered. And that's giving me that message. It's like somebody in the shadows. Their ears are open, their eyes are wide, they're watching, but they don't allow themselves to be seen. I'm not getting that in a secret admirer in a nice way, though. Okay? It's also nothing to be afraid of because you're protected and that Wheel of Fortune is turning for you anyway. Okay? I see the Wheel of Fortune. Abundance is being thrown your way. The divine is getting you ready and has you ready for you to hop on a new timeline. You're about to hop on a new timeline if you haven't already. I'm getting for a lot of you already did. Okay? You let go of a lot of things from the past. You've learned a lot of lessons. You've already gone through the death and rebirth process multiple times. You're in a completely different place that you were even in 3 months ago, they're saying. 3 months ago, 6 months ago, a year ago even. Night and day. You're ready for the new phase, right? So I'm getting like, even if somebody that you dealt with in the past try to come back into your life right now, somebody that hurt you, somebody that played with your mind, somebody that manipulated you, it could be a friend, it could be romantic. You've learned enough not to even want to deal with them in the first place. I get it. But what do you do when they're in the shadows watching you and trying to affect you spiritually and energetically? How do you protect yourself, then? The divine always got you. You are protected, but they do want you to know, okay? Of this, I just get this energy. It's like there is, for some of you, it's one person. For some of you, it's more than one person. There is some energetic cord. Even if you want nothing to do with this person, you've already cut them off or you've moved on, you learned your lesson, chapter closed, I'm getting. And again, if you're new here, even if you haven't seen tarot cards being pulled, doesn't matter. I'm a medium. Sometimes I channel, for the whole reading. It's whatever they said. Right now I'm channeling. This is all downloads I'm getting. This is part of the reading, okay? They'll confirm, trust me. If you need tarot to see it, they'll do what they have to do. So you feel confident by the end of this reading, even if it's quick. I guess because they know it's supposed to, I have to go. They're just getting to the point. Listen, I still feel like maybe there's some kind of cord cutting or some kind of energetic tie that you have to this person that has not been completely cleared. You have tried, you have done what you have to do, but there's a piece that's still there, okay? And it might be because you fully haven't let it go, okay? So you have to be the one to fully let it go. You think you let it go, but you still remember the fact that it's still in your consciousness or your subconsciousness to some degree, even if you don't care. It could even be because you avoid thinking about it. Avoiding thinking about a choice you made, allowing someone into your life or dealing with someone, or avoiding, thinking about an ex or somebody that you cut off is not the same as cutting the energetic cord. You understand? So there's still like a string. Imagine if the person was across the country or even across the globe or in a different state and you're somewhere really far, okay? And there's like a beam of light that attaches to them and attaches to you, even if there's no communication and you're far. You understand? I see most of that cord was already cut, but there's like a little piece. And let me tell you, everything you ever thought about this person has been true. They have really dark energy attached to them because of lessons that they refuse to learn and healing that they refuse to take a part in. Okay? That is not your problem anymore. Okay? And you are being set on a path of abundance. The thing is that every time that you're about to hop on a new timeline or you're about to receive a blessing, I don't understand. It's part of this person's darkness. It's like they can feel it, and from afar, it bothers them. I don't know if it's just energetic, if they're conscious of it, or it doesn't matter if they're conscious of it. The point is that this energy is happening. Their ears are open, like I see, their eyes are there, but they are cloaked. If somebody is cloaked, okay, and watching you and listening to you, those aren't good vibes in the first place. Anybody that is meant to help you grow in a good way, or is here or is meant to be on your path, doesn't need to be cloaked. Okay? Right? It's like the moment you're about to ascend, they get some kind of nudge, somehow, some way, from some lower level entity to pay attention and to watch you. And they start sending you like negative energy to try to halt that because of their own jealousy, because of what they haven't been able to accomplish. They can't help it. They can't help themselves. They can't help themselves. Okay? So I got to let you know, with that being said, don't let it bother you. Don't give it too much mind, because then you're going to give it power. But I do suggest doing some kind of cord cutting ritual once or for all, or at least bringing it to your awareness. The divine saying this little piece of information. You know who I'm talking about, or what I'm talking about. It could be a family member, it could be a friend, something really toxic. Number one, I think that partially what's going on here, the divine is saying, that is the reason that the cord hasn't been able to be cut fully, is because you haven't either one, forgiven them 100% for what they have done to you, or what, and number two, you haven't forgiven yourself for allowing yourself to take part in this person's energy. You understand, whether you realize it or not. It's like there's a part of you that is angry that you even didn't see the truth in this person, or that you allowed yourself to have someone like that into your life, or that you may not even be conscious of it, but there's a part of you that's like angry that you spent so much time of your life, whether you thought they were your twin flame, or and actually they were just full of demons, right? And they still are. Okay, but and I know that that the divine doesn't throw anything at you for no reason. They were brought to your life as a karmic lesson in order for you to grow. You already did. But you cannot take any energy related to this person or this situation onto this new timeline you're about to hop on. Do you understand that? You can't. The fact that I see this person here with their ears open and their eyes looking over this white candle onto you means that there's still an attachment that you need to let go of. You did 90% of it, 95%, and it's really hard, and the divine's commending you for that. But there is a piece that you have to consciously sit down with. I don't take a day for yourself, however you do it, whether spiritually, cord cutting, a ritual, or also if you need to go to a counselor or a therapist to help you in this process, even though it doesn't seem like that's a spiritual, ritual, it still helps your spirit, then do it. So they can help you through the process of like letting this go to Reiki, go to anything, right? And get, so that you can get to the point where you like officially let this go, or do a ritual of like, you ever heard people that do burnings to like officially let things go? Like write down what anything that made you angry about the situation, what you learned and what you're happy about, and then safely, okay, keyword safely, burn it so that you can have something concrete in your mind saying, I let it go. It's very freeing. You got to do something like that, because there's a piece of you that's not letting go to the resentment or the anger or something about this person, what you consider lack of closure. But you don't need closure from somebody. Closure is not necessary. Your closure comes from yourself and from spirit. Remember that. You don't need to talk to them, and you need to forgive yourself. But honey, they're still watching you, because I kid you not, like I said, it's already been 15 minutes. I didn't even pull a card. I guess this is, and I before I hit record, I didn't even know this is what they wanted to say. It's like Spirit was like, I was just waiting for you to hit record so I could just get to the point. Boom. I know that you have to go to sleep soon because by the way, I used to record really late. I go to bed at 9:30 now every night. It's the healthiest thing that I could have ever done for my life, my mental space, my spirit, etc. Maybe that's a message for you in particular. Maybe you need to do that because sometimes good things don't come at 2, 3 in the morning. Okay, including energy. There's a lot of things roaming around Earth at that time. Sometimes you don't want to be around it. Listen, they just knew that I was going to hit record and they just came through with that message. All right. Don't lose sleep over it, but do something. Admit it. You know, they're saying you know that there's a part of you that hasn't fully let it go. And this person, I kid you not, back to what they were telling me to tell you. You know how we started this reading and they said, you were a different person. Like you can tell. 3 months ago, you were a completely different person. You've elevated, you've ascended. 6 months ago, a completely different person. A year ago, a completely different person. You can tell. The spirit can tell how much you've grown and how much your life has elevated. I kid you not, this person, if you were to invite them over, and you wouldn't, if you were to invite them over right now, it would be the craziest experience for you because guess what? They are in the same place, same mindset. They have the same addictions, the same dark energy. They have done nothing to change or elevate spiritually. And not that you wish anything negative on them, actually the opposite, because what Spirit's asking you to do is forgive, because forgiveness is for yourself. Remember that. They're in the same place, and I'm sorry, honey, maybe in some point, at some moment, if this was romantic, maybe you were supposed to, come together. But the Divine's saying it was to learn a lesson. The Divine knows they never chose to learn their lesson, though. So it would be a trippy experience to even talk to them. So don't even wish that. Because you have elevated so much and it would be crazy. It's like speaking to them would be like looking at yourself when you were in a bad place years ago. And you don't want to re-traumatize yourself, do you? However, so you wouldn't. That's why you've moved on. But just having that little bit of energy attached to them, you're re-traumatizing your spirit on a regular basis, okay? Even if you don't know it. The Divine says you know what they're saying. And they're happy because you've done most of the work. They just need you to do this final step. Do something. I really do recommend the burning safely. Okay? Once and for all. This person's energy does not belong on my table, does not belong in your life. You're starting a new chapter, and that needs to be 100, not 99.9%, 100% closed out. 100% closed out. Because they don't send anything but dark energy because they haven't healed and they are jealous. And I don't know what it is. The moment that they sense that you are elevating, or like because they're tied to you somehow, they can tell when you're elevating or you're accomplishing something. And that bothers their spirit. And then they start sending you dark energy. And I said this was supposed to be quick. I cannot believe Spirit just took over like this. Well, when I say I can't believe something, doesn't mean I really can't believe it. Oh, I can. They do that. But, just for the sake of me, this being a tarot channel, okay, I am going to pull some cards to confirm this. But, look, boom. Oh, honey. Just... you know what? I'm gonna leave this in reverse. Boom, boom. That's confirmation within itself. But the Six of Swords. Moving on to calmer waters. Listen, you see this right here? This is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is the card of anxiety, stress, it's literally when those dark spirits cling to you, right? When you were connected to this person, whoever this was, and I am saying it's a person because look at this image. Look what the crazy part is, right? This image, it shows somebody. You can't really tell if it's a woman or man. Actually, no, I think that's a woman. Nonetheless, when this person's on their bed, losing sleep over somebody, right? I know it's about someone because there's a man there in some kind of armor, has a sword. They look like they're wearing some kind of like armor there, right? So this person is losing sleep over this person. Maybe that's an image. Maybe that's what it means. Someone you thought was your knight in shining armor, right? Something like that. But again, like I said, take it as it resonates. This could be a family member you cut off. It could be anybody, right? Again, and also the genders don't matter. That's what that Nine of Swords. You went through that, honey, but you elevated. Look at where you are now. Look at the difference, night and day. You're the Empress now. Again, doesn't matter if you're a man. Doesn't matter. Okay. Your Empress is all about creation, fertility, meaning creating a new life. Also, the energy of receiving, being able to receive abundance, loving yourself. The Empress is feminine energy, so it's also about you to learn how to nurture yourself. You're like on top of the world. You're healed. You're ready to create a new life. You've learned how to receive. You learned how to let go. It's also being in tune with your emotions, right? And not using your emotions to manipulate or anything like that. This is who you are now. This is who you were before. You went through a period of Nine of Swords. That was done. Seven of Cups energy in reverse and Eight of Swords energy in reverse is exactly what I want to see. When you dealt with this other energy, you were in this and this on a regular basis. Eight of Swords is self-imprisonment of your own mind. Literally tied up, swords all around you. Swords signify your mind, your thoughts, your intellect. Like you were, honestly, this affected everything because of the stress. Because if you are in a constant Nine of Swords energy, okay, this stress, Eight of Swords energy, right? Feeling stuck, like you don't know what to do, self-imposed imprisonment. And it's self-imposed because like you at that given time chose to engage in it. It's okay, forgive yourself. Seven of Cups energy is like thoughts all over the place, right? Is this right? Should I trust them? Should I get, like every day is a new thing with this person. Also, it's the card of illusion. So you could have had the illusion that this person was a good person, etc., right? But when they're in reverse, especially next to the Empress, that you've already dealt with that, right? You're the Empress. You've healed that. The Empress is 100% healed. She's the Empress. Period. There's no, like, the Empress is the Empress, right? Seven of Cups in reverse, you let that go. You know now, cups signify your emotions, that if you were to give your cup to somebody, right? Seven of Cups in reverse, you don't have seven cups to choose from, you have one. You are holding one cup and you know what that cup signifies. So when you meet that person, you already have this one cup. It means so much. You're going to give it to that one person, and that to that person that deserves is going to give it back to you. And it's going to be an equal give and take. It's going to be, you already know not to deal with confusion. You already are not in anything that's self-imposed, right? You know who you are now. Maybe you didn't at that moment. You had to go through that lesson, no shame, whatever. Okay, so that's a thing of the past. That's why the Nine of Swords is over here. Okay, wonderful. However, since the Nine of Swords is the first card, and like I always say, and I can't change it now, the first card in the deck is the most significant. And what do you see here? There's that person still there in the corner, right? Nine of Swords. That means that the first card is the most significant, even though you're already in this beautiful healed energy. You're ready to hop on a new timeline, and you will. Abundance is coming to you, so don't worry about this. This is something that could be taken care of in a couple of days. You just got to do a couple things, right? That image of that person, it's like, it's as if you still have a picture of that person, a frame of this person in your, and you might literally somewhere in your house, and you haven't finally gotten rid of it. You got to burn it. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to like just officially let it go. Because the Empress cannot have this in the corner of their mind, literally in the corner. You can't have that experience in the corner of your mind while you hop on this new timeline. It's the only thing that's holding you back. And like I said, this person also being shown here in the corner like that, in the dark. What did I tell you? There's someone literally in the shadows. In the shadows. That it's a dark room. There's a person in the corner there in the literal shadows. Watching you be the Empress, watching you receive, like they just energetically know. And whether they see you on social media or whether they're actually stalking or it's just something they feel energetically, okay? When they get the hit, the emotional hit or the energetic hit that you're about to elevate, they start going into their own unhealed loop, their own Nine of Swords, and they start projecting that onto you, like wishing you like harm or thinking negative things that ultimately are sent to you. And although you're protected, and although your light cannot be dimmed, the attempts alone stall you just a little bit. Like it might bring you a bad day without you even realizing why am I having a bad day today? It's because of this person somewhere sending you some kind of energy. The next day might be a great day and everything's still going to be accomplished, but the divine doesn't want this energy to be there at all. Okay? It's time. You got to do something to fully let it go. Because, like I said, new things are coming. I mean, listen, I already got to go. I'm already past time. Let's see. Yeah, it's bedtime already. I think I'm going to sleep like 30 minutes late again, and that's okay. I forgive myself. But, you know, the divine like gave this message really quick. What's this? It just felt 3. Man, look, with the 2 of Cups, this literally, with the Strength card, 6 of Cups, like I said, can't make it up. Look what's at the top. The Temple. Oh my God. And the Tower. They're just, the divine's like, I know you got to go, so I'm going to confirm this quick. Okay. The 3 of Swords, 2 of Cups, Strength. What do we talk about here? 3 of Swords, somebody that could have put you in a third-party situation, somebody that really played with your heart. 1000%. 2 of Cups was somebody that you have some kind of partnership with, okay? Could be romantic, could be a friend, could be a relationship, could be a business partner. But it's definitely someone from the past because the 6 of Cups, somebody from the past, or it could be with the 6 of Cups, somebody that you've known since childhood, right? It depends. It could be either or. What's underneath it? The Devil. This person was actually in Devil energy. So were you, though. That's why you attracted this person in the first place, right? What the divine wants you to know, though, is the difference between, and it says enslaved woman, enslaved man, the difference between you and this person is you were never malicious, okay? You had no malice. You just were going through your things, and because you had some stuff you had to heal, you attracted maybe the wrong kind of energies to you. You were able to heal, right? You are no longer enslaved. Okay? You are the Strength card embodied now because you have a light that you were born with, this light that nobody can dim. And this person definitely tried to dim and enslave you. Try to dim your light because they never felt worthy of being bright, of being light. There's something about you that's different, that no matter that they're too enslaved in Devil energy that they can't even live any other way, basically, right? And you see, the thing is, like I said, energetically, the Tower for them, it's like every time they recognize energetically that you're in your strength or they see you or something like that, that brings a Tower moment for them every time. Or they very often have Tower moments in their own life. And so have you. We all go through it, but they remain enslaved. And that energy is sent to you. You were in this energy before. You had a lot of tower moments with this person, devil energy, heartbreak, third party situations, deception, you name it. Seven of Swords is not here, but I see it. Very manipulative person. You're not, see, divine feminine is there in strength and the Empress. You're the one that's not enslaved anymore. They are. That's the difference. So like I said, they're just confirming that energy that's in the shadows. You see this person in the corner, like I said, could they be any more clear? It's right here. It's literally with the Six of Cups, which means the past. It's somebody from the past. Their tower moment is every time that they have some kind of reminder that you're elevating or you're doing better than them that they can ever be, because, and not that you wish that they burn in hell. You definitely don't wish that. Don't do that, because then that karma is coming back at you. They send their ick energetically to you. You don't need any more tower moments for this. Okay, so what are you gonna do? And I know that the fact that you came out as the Empress and you're sitting there with your legs open, like hands behind your head, you're, honey, and stars all revolving all around your head, but just hope, healing, faith. You're like, old news. I'm not worried about this. I'm not worried about this. But yes, you're right. You're right. You know, I did go through this in the past. I get it. I know what you're talking about. Cool, great. So what are you gonna do to officially terminate this energy? They're saying you thought you did, right? Like you thought you did, and yes, I'm seeing that, especially with these two cards I just pulled. You thought you did. You thought you did with the Lovers in reverse and the Hanged Man. Lovers in reverse mean this didn't work out. It ended up being, you know, terminated. It definitely wasn't the Lovers upright. I realized I thought it was, but it was not. But the thing is, you thought that you completely cleared this energy, but with the Hanged Man there, no. It wasn't fully clear. The Hanged Man is not like the death and transformation, like completely, like, you were able to transmute that energy. The Hanged Man means something was like suspended in action. It needs to be released. He's hanging by one foot, but that thread still exists literally, and the spirits just confirming their presence. Like we said, there's that thread, the thread that they're talking about. That thread is still there. Think of it that way, on your foot. So it's divine saying, you have been able to move forward. That's great, but there's still a little bit of this energy there. There's still that thread that's on your foot. I need you to officially do something to cut it, okay? Because we need this Wheel of Fortune to come now. It's already happening for you, right? It's this new life is already happening for you. And I don't think that you're aware. This person still, we live in, it's 2025. As much as you can block people, etc., it's so easy for people to find you, see you, and if it's not someone that's making the effort to be in your life and they're still watching you or finding a way, then it's not good energy. Yup, like the divine saying, hurry up and do this, because your new beginning is here. It's been here. You know that. I'm kind of going backwards, but that's okay. It doesn't matter where I place the cards. The World card, which means closing out cycles. Oh, honey, this cycle has been closed. We get it. Is done. Like, it's done. But you're about to enter, which you have already entered, but you're about to continue to enter the new phase of this wheel that's turning, this new abundance, okay? Whether it's a new career, new life, eventually new love, or a new phase, if you have a new person in your life already, like leveling up, etc., right? But you can't have any of that until you know what's interesting? The World's card signifies closing out a cycle, but in this deck, it has an arrow face, like an arrow going both ways, up, down, and right, left. Meaning you need to go up, you need to go down, you need to go backwards so that then you can move forwards. We need to fully close out this energy. Again, just do a ritual, whatever you need to do. Because again, there's something about you that it's like a little final piece. A little final piece, right? I want you to, oh my God, you can't, even with this Three of Pentacles, you can see it's like a little final piece. You see how you see how like this is connected, and then there's like one little piece here that wasn't drawn in, right there, wasn't like it's not connected. So the divine's pointing this little piece. So we need to move forward here, okay? We got to do it. And look what was underneath it. The Ten of Pentacles. Do you know what the Ten of Pentacles is? Everything. All the abundance is coming to you, honey. Everything. This means everything. Ten of Pentacles is my favorite. It's so much better than the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is awesome, but the Ten of Pentacles is everything. Because the Ten of Pentacles is financial abundance and like abundance on the 3D plane, right? So it includes everything. It includes wealth. It includes money. It includes mental stability. It includes relationships. It includes like this just overall abundance. Everything that you were not able to fully attain when this person was in your life. Quite literally, actually, there was a lot that you were supposed to attain before. And this person had a lot to do with the reason that what was meant to you was stalled. We're not worrying about that anymore. But it's just a little reminder that that energy cord needs to be completely cut off. As we said, right? I'm just going to pull one more card. And you know what? I need a new deck. And no one's saying that you're like sitting home thinking about this on a regular basis, right? Like the divine's not showing me that. But it may be living in your subconscious. So they need you to bring that fully. I just split the deck and that's just confirming it. That's twice. Whenever I get two cards, same card twice, it's confirmation. You need to fully close out that cycle. Like 10,000%. 10,000. Dang. Didn't I say I saw the Seven of Swords even though it's not here? Oh, there it is. Spirit's not going to leave me, hanging. That's that deception that we talked about. Okay? That's what this person represented. Where do I even put this? I'll put it across. Hold on. Something fell. What is this? It's ready. Okay. You see my problem? It's not really a problem, but like, I gotta sleep. And my daughter has to sleep, so I gotta go. But I just have so much to say. But look at that. Look at how they're gonna finish. Spirit never leaves me hanging. It's the same card we started with. There's that Nine of Swords again. But this deck, they guided me to this deck. Okay, for a reason. Because in this deck, it shows a porcupine blindfolded, and this like demon up here is trying to swallow the porcupine whole, which is just saying to me, and the Nine of Swords, like I said, was like that stress, that anxiety, which is just saying to me, like, yeah, you're protected. We know that. You're a little porcupine and you have swords on your back. Like if some demon try to swallow you, they're going to get hurt because you already learned your lesson. We get that. However, that porcupine is still blindfolded. So it's like you're moving forward with all this protection. Great, great, great. There's a treasure chest down there. Great. There's a skull because you went through the death and rebirth. Great. That skull is buried. So you already went through it. Like you're still moving forward, right? But you're still blindfolded to the fact that this dark energy still has all of these little eyes on you. You don't even know it. In the shadows. That's why it's black. Because they, unlike you, that buried that death and rebirth, buried whatever you went through and you went through your death and rebirth process, with that skull next to them, they did not. So they are constantly looking at you like with their hot ass breath, okay? Literally, like dragon breath, literally. And all their tower moments, that's why they have lightning bolts everywhere, like watching you. And you don't need, even though you're protected, you don't need that on you, period. So with that being said, the Hierophant is literally a card of some kind of ritual. Ace of Swords, right? They're holding onto that sword and that clarity, and even though it's bleeding, doesn't hurt. It's mental clarity and it's a new beginning. That's why it's an ace. So with that being said, you got to do some kind of Hierophant, some kind of ritual. There's some candles in there, whatever you need to do. Bring it to your awareness with the sun so that you are able to take this from the dark into your consciousness and then transmute the energy. You got me? I mean, the Spirit did not disappoint today with their, they did not disappoint with their confirmations here. Okay. And yeah, it is late. So I am going to pull a Moonology card and that's it. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Wait, just one. Just one. What's going on? Hold on. Just one. I'll pull it from the bottom. A new romantic cycle begins. New moon in Libra. Oh, I love that. Okay. This is also going to allow you to eventually, maybe at some point, allow love back into your life. Period. All right. Love and light, guys.